live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Oh, Kimber. Kimber heard somebody.
Get her over with.
Somebody
What did I
Tell you during the show, I made the mistake of saying I take Zion over Kimba right now. What did I say? I jinxed myself. And what happened at Charlotte last night? DeMar DeRozan happened. He had the ball in his hands with a chance to win the game at the end of regulation, and he. That's what happens.
Hold on.
That's what happens when you have a Toronto Raptor on.
But did you have overtime?
Yep. And you know what? Kimba went mini MJ on my Spurs. Because he's mini MJ. That's who he is.
You lighted it up. How you know today, Skip?
I'm not great.
You won't be.
How are you?
Are you sure?
Well, I lost the game. But my Spurs will cruise into the playoffs.
Don't
want to bet on that?
No, don't do that.
You want to bet on it?
Eighth right
Do
now.
you? Okay, you want to bet on it?
Half a game.
Huh?
Let me see.
Half a game?
I'll talk to you on Friday after y'all lose
How about let's bet 10 cases of Diet Mountain Dew right here, right now that my Spurs make the playoffs?
10?
Just as simple as that. Just make or miss for 10 cases. Thank you. Next question.
You want advance.
Moving on. Okay, we have more to get to about Zion today. Are we ready to put him in the Hall of Fame?
My goodness.
And should everyone jump on the Browns bandwagon? But let's start with a shocker from the NFL. There was a big change in the rule book yesterday. NFL owners approved a rule that will allow offensive and defensive pass interference, including plays where a flag wasn't thrown, to be reviewed. This is a direct result of the non-call in the NFC Championship game, which Sean Payton has been lobbying for. The new rule will allow coaches to challenge these plays until the final 2 minutes of each half. Then a replay official can take a look after that. The change was approved 31-1, but for now, it will only be around for next season. Shannon, are you shocked by this rule change?
Shock would be an understatement. And Skip, I'm going to use a few cliches here because I believe they've opened Pandora's box. They've chosen to go down this slippery slope, and there's no putting the genie back in the bottle. There was a play and we're going to talk about this because you harped on this play so much, the Bradley Roby play. And that now is sin, but there's a play that happened in the Super Bowl that might have changed the way we look at this, but moving forward. Skip, the problem that I have is that they basically said because PI is a spot foul, they used it as, well, this is the most punitive of all the plays.
Well, isn't it?
It is.
Okay.
It is. But, so what about defensive holding? Does that not mean anything? Because if I'm a coach, Skip, this is what I'm going to do moving forward. I'm not even worried about the first to second quarter. I'm saving all my challenges. I'm saving them for the fourth quarter because I know I'm going to get one. Because this thing, I think I've gotten off the field. We played great defense, and my wide receiver coach, he grabbed me. He passed it, he PI'd me. Challenge. And then, and I know what Skip Bayless is going to say. There's going to be some calls this year, Jenny. I know him. I know this man very, very well. That's a play on. You got to let him play. Oh, no. No, you don't got to let them play. You wanted this.
Okay, you can challenge and be wrong, too.
You could be, but I can challenge him to be right. What you going to, Skip, what you going to do on Hail Marys? Now, that's going to be a nightmare. Now, at the end of the half and at the end of the game when guys are just throwing the ball up, now you're going to get the ball on the 1 yard line with a chance to get a touchdown.
Did they blow that call in the New Orleans game? Yes. Everybody in the known world, I don't know about the unknown world, but the known world, everybody, including my dog Hazel, thought that was a bad call. Am I right?
It was a bad call.
It was the all-time worst call.
It was an egregious call.
Can it be fixed? No, it cannot be fixed. Can it now be fixed?
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, DJ Healy, can you drop that track from the Super Bowl? There's a play I want Skip Bayless to see from the Super Bowl that this would have been PI. Do we have? Hold on. What we thought was a great play would have been PI, and the ball would have been right there, Skip Bayless.
I'm not even sure about that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. That's a debatable one. That's a 50-50.
No, they've already said
will the known world say that's pass interference? I don't think so.
I'm just telling you what came out of yesterday's meeting.
All right, okay.
That play would have been a PI, and the ball...
You don't know that for sure.
That's what they said.
No, they didn't. They said you can challenge it.
Skip.
Well, now they're going to look at it and they'll say, well, it's close.
Armbar.
It's close.
PI 7-7. Yeah. We got a different ball game, so I don't know. Super Bowl 53 might be changed.
Was that the last play of the game?
Skip.
No.
Stop.
Okay, I'm going to give you that. If I were upstairs in the booth as the sky judge, we don't have a sky judge yet, but if I could replay that call, I would say that's pass interference, and I would give you first and goal at the whatever it was.
If you don't mind me asking, was that play in the New Orleans game, was that the last play of the game?
It would have been.
No, it wouldn't.
Well, I mean, it would have ended the game.
But you had a chance. You said you supposed to overcome that, but that's neither here nor there. But the problem that I have, Skip, if especially, and they said Coach Belichick, Andy Reid, Jason Garrett really got behind Sean Payton. But you know, Skip, it's a lot of it has to do with, you look at the guys who they have at tight end. If I'm Gronk, I'm coming back. How do you officiate Gronk now, Skip, with this rule in place? How? It was already talking about, well, he's like Shaq because he's so hard to officiate. Is it offensive pass interference? Is it defensive pass interference? Skip, I don't really like the subjective nature of this. And you limit it to just PI. So in other words, defensive holding or illegal contact, because those are game-changing plays also, Skip, for the simple fact they give you first downs and give teams another 3 cracks at you. So that's the problem that I have, is that it's just limited to this. If we're going to be able to challenge PI, can we not challenge defensive holding, offensive holding?
We have to start somewhere. So we start with the most egregious of all the penalties, the most punitive of all the penalties.
Yes.
Over the last 3 years, pass interference made up only 9% of the flags thrown, only 9%. But guess what? They made up 70% of plays that were most impactful on your winning chances, right? So 70%, because they are impactful.
Right.
They change games, because it's not the college rule, right?
Right.
The college rule is it's just 15 yards. Sure. So if you get beat, in college, you just reach out and grab the guy and say, I'll take the 15 yards versus this touchdown.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
But this can be a 99-yard penalty, right? Effectively, if you could throw it 99 yards, you could have a 99-yard penalty. So point is that I started campaigning for this the moment we opened our show the day after the championship games, because I just want it to maybe not be right, but righter than it was. Because the way it was before, there was no fail-safe. There was no stopgap. There was no checks and balances on a play like that. You couldn't correct it. At least now, and again, it's just for a year, they're going to try it, but I think it will be instituted long-term and permanently.
Are you going to give the officials slow-mo eyes? Are you going to give them slow motion eyes? Because everything looks bad in slow motion. You know that, right?
Well, you get it right in slow motion is what you get.
Skip!
Okay, but you can be deceived by real motion, real time, because they all got deceived. They all missed the most egregious non-call, the worst blown call in the history of sports.
Skip, 3 of the officials couldn't have called it. The umpire, the referee, and the side judge on the other side couldn't have made that call.
Okay.
But they did miss it.
I told you from the start, you were on the wrong side of this as a Hall of Famer. And I'm sure a bunch of Hall of Famers who are more old school, who are clinging to the way the game is, it's got human error involved in it, and it's just the way football is. And I kept saying, well, I'm new school on this one, because I just want it to get as right as it can get. And those owners, they didn't pleasantly surprise me. They pleasantly shocked me yesterday, because they all pulled their heads out of the Arizona sand. They're in Phoenix, and they finally made a big, bold change to fix the National Football League and to protect it, maybe to save it from allegations that the games are fixed. Because now that there's more public betting, more legalized betting on pro football, you know and I know that these are the calls where you say, did the refs, are they bought off for this game? And now they can't be quote unquote bought off, because we have a system in place whereby we review these penalties. And if it's blatantly obvious, obviously there are some calls where you just say, you know what, we all agree. They missed that one. So upstairs, they can do a collective group think on this. You know what? We missed that one. If it's 50-50, that one in the Super Bowl is more 50-50 me. I'm with you on it, but I don't know. You have to have indisputable evidence.
Well, once I see him armbar him, it's indisputable.
Okay, well, then that's fine. Okay, well, then let's get it right. Then I'm with you. Let's save the game from itself. Let's do it.
I think myself and some of the other Hall of Famers are looking and questioning, how much more beneficial do you want to make it for the offenses? It's already scaled so heavily in their favor. That's why you see the conflated inflated numbers that we're starting to see. So now this is just another element, Skip, that's weighted towards the offense.
Okay. Is it right? Make it right. We have the technology in place. Our fans are now so sophisticated. They have so much technology at their fingertips that they can see what the refs aren't seeing on the field instantaneously.
Yeah, they have the luxury of replay.
Okay. Let's use it. Let's use what we have in